Loca says, I could see the Forbidden Forest being its own hub world and maybe even a base for the hypothetical poachers deeper in the forest. I could see that. And think about the trailer. Like, we see this sort of, well, for lack of a better word, dungeon type area, right? Like, there's that big bridge that we see kind of forming, and we see the runes and the characters like running, and then the bridge starts to form. And then there's an area where it looks like that dragon is being held captive. If you freeze it right when it cuts that shot of the dragon, like breaking free, he throws his head back. You can see that he's being held down by something. Same thing with the troll. The troll has like chains on it. So maybe there's this dungeon that we find like hidden deep within Hogwarts, underneath Hogwarts somewhere, where they're like conducting a lot of this activity. All the new info, going back to the trailer, it does look like all the monsters they showed were probably part of enemy camps or dungeons. Josh, I had the exact same thought. I almost want to go back and like do another video breakdown of the trailer again, like taking all this new information into account. Because when you think about dungeons and enemy camps, there's a ton of little things. What about Quidditch? I think Quidditch is in. I'll say 90%. If you guys didn't see this, Troy Levitt, who worked on the game, is no longer with Avalanche, but he worked on the game and did an interview with Podcast Now, another fellow Hogwarts Legacy YouTuber. The most interesting part of that whole interview is he's like, I get asked stuff all the time, and almost every time I'm like, did you watch the trailer? Did you watch the trailer? It's in the trailer. And I don't know, something about when he talked about that, I feel like Quidditch is one of those things, because we see them with the brooms in what appear to be Quidditch robes. I think that after hearing him say that and then going back, I'd be shocked. I'd be really, really shocked if Quidditch is not in some capacity. I think that's the biggest question, is like, what capacity is it in? Is it like, can we just like go and play at any time? Is it like a separate menu item like it was in the old games that we have to access? Do we just walk down to the Quidditch pitch? Do we have set story moments where, what if you don't want to join the Quidditch team? Do you like have to join the Quidditch team, or is it an optional thing, you know? So all that'll be interesting how they handle it. Wonder if we'll actually be able to read books in the library. I don't know. And I wonder how they're going to handle learning new spells. Because that's like the balance of, like, Elder Scrolls, you can literally like go in and read the books that they have. Of course, they're not like, you know, a full-length book, but for a video game, it's like, it's a lot of text that you could scroll through. And in the old games, like, to learn the spells, you know, you didn't really read anything. It's like you trace the pattern on the PC game, and in the other games, it's like, here, you just learn it, and now go and use the spell. Question here: did the photo evidence come from the original source or the one the photo evidence came from the second person? I said in my video that another thing that made me feel comfortable in going with this and reporting it is that person showed me some photographic, I wouldn't say proof. It wasn't like they showed me a bunch of screenshots of an enemy camp or something. It was nothing like that. Some of them were screenshots of things that have since already been posted. So we talked a little bit earlier about the gentleman's portfolio that I don't even think I can say leaked because they were publicly available. Some of the things I saw were screenshots of that. There was more, and the stuff that I can't show is because the person who sent these to me believed that they could possibly get more information down the road. If it gets out, that they would know immediately where those photos came from, and so then they wouldn't get any other information at all. So that's why I'm not going to share the pictures. Yeah, but that was probably the biggest question by far that I saw. Day 9 Cycle wouldn't be surprised if we need to advance the story to move to the next season. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they would, if they have multiple seasons, how they're going to approach that. Because you think about other games, they kind of do it based on location, like The Witcher or Skyrim, for example. It's like you have your snowy area. Dream is for a fully dynamic day-night season cycle that progresses naturally. Would understand if they did it that way. Hope DLCs will take us to other schools. I mean, I'd love to see it. I think, personally, in my opinion, I think that's like, if they even attempted something like that, I just can't see it. Sorry, Mystery Mini. I just can't see that. Because that's like just so, now, DLC, sequels, because then like J.K. Rowling has revealed a lot about the schools on Pottermore, but we don't have that concrete, like clear visual of every single one of them. So that would give them a lot of creative freedom to kind of go crazy with it. A lot of creative freedom. But again, I can't see that in anything but a sequel. They got to nail Hogwarts in this game. I mean, it's called Hogwarts Legacy, right? They got to nail Hogwarts. One of the reservations people had when they heard about the game seemingly going to be larger than we were thinking is like, oh man, does this mean that Hogwarts is going to be more like a minor thing, you know, and that it's going to, I don't think so. No. Trust me, they know that Hogwarts has to be, of all the settings of everywhere we go in this game, however many towns and regions and dungeons and camps that we go to, Hogwarts has to be the one that brings it all together. And they have to nail Hogwarts before anything else. So I think they know that. Hope for a collector's edition. If they don't do a collector's edition, that is a huge missed opportunity. Huge missed opportunity. I think they know they need a collector's edition. Okay, Radiant Dusty had a question here. Do you think Hogwarts Legacy will be able to be marketed towards people who have never read Harry Potter? Maybe even able to bring new fans to Harry Potter? Or do you think you pretty much need to have read? That's a great question. I think this is definitely going to stand alone. I don't think you'll have to have read Harry Potter at all. It's going to take place way, way, way long before that. I think it'll have to be one of those things where they make it to where like there are little references that the diehard fans are going to know. But I really think that they will make this a game that stands on its own to where you can fully get the story just by jumping into that. Do you think it'll come this year? I do think it'll come this year. The news. I'm still not ruling out another delay. Do I dare even say that? I know. They've said 2022, which they're going to say that. They're going to say that until they know they may have to delay it. They're going to say that. I do think we will definitely 100% get news this year because they've said that. And if they don't, then it's like, okay, now we're officially worried. If we're sitting here February 2023 and they never gave us anything after they said, in terms of the game hitting this year, I've always felt it was going to be a holiday of this year. And even with all the September rumors, I still, even if right now internally, maybe they're working toward a September date, I still feel like it gets pushed to November. That's just my guess, though. Just my guess. I wouldn't mind delays as long as they keep us informed, even if it's the little things. I made a video a while back. This one didn't do nearly as well as some of the other videos, but I was just like, how I would keep the hype alive. It's like, we're really not asking for a lot. We're really not. It's not like we need a trailer a month. It's like, what if tomorrow they just made a tweet that's like, there will be 7 dungeons in Hogwarts Legacy. In these dungeons, you will encounter da-da-da-da-da. And that's it. Like, just that little tease. Or just say dungeons. You don't even have to put a number on it. Just give us like a little tease. Stuff like that, like a screenshot or two here and there. Remember how much we freaked out about the artwork? Oh, we got a couple questions here. Conspiracy theory for Mr. Bossman. Those people contacted you and Expecto Go were part of the market. Bossman, it crossed my mind. It crossed my mind, especially when Expecto Go and I started chatting back and forth in DMs. I'm like, was this planned? It could be. If it is, hey, I'm all good with that. That's fine with me. J. Ross didn't play Tsushima, but the games mentioned seem to talk about the potential scope of Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. That kind of scope would explain why they told us they needed a delay right off the bat in 2022. Yes. And I could not believe, I know a lot of people don't watch all the way through YouTube videos. One of the things I covered toward the end of the video, how have we missed this, guys? I don't think I've seen anybody make a comparison between The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild cover art and Hogwarts Legacy, what we are guessing is going to be the cover art, but that main wallpaper that everybody comes back to, it's at the very end of the trailer. Dude, it's like they literally looked at the Zelda box and are like, okay, let's make this with our... Now, that could have just been an artist thing, right? You have different people that work on the art probably different people that work on the actual art inside the game probably made that art. I have no idea. But I'm like, how do we miss this? You know, they were showing us right here. That's the thing that from all this kind of made me shift my perspective a little bit, is like, this is probably going to be bigger than I was thinking. And we don't know for sure, but from all those things, it sounds like it's going to be much bigger. I mean, multiple regions, right? Multiple regions. You're going to have multiple dungeons, multiple enemy camps. I mean, unless they're all just like sitting right outside Hogwarts, which I don't know, maybe Forbidden Forest, like they could maybe use a little bit of a creative liberty there and kind of have a lot of these camps scattered about the Forbidden Forest. I don't even know if we know exactly how big the Forbidden Forest is. Baller Wheel says, don't know how I feel about enemy camps being a core component, not the direction I thought they'd go. I'm intrigued though. If you played like, something like Ghost of Tsushima or even Zelda, I think it's those things that are sort of scattered about the world to make it feel alive and make it feel real, to where, or like even Red Dead Redemption or something, you know? You don't want to just go, at least I don't, when I'm playing an open world game, I don't want to just go from point A to point B. Here's your mission. Okay, I go and do it. Here's your next mission. Okay, I go and do it. What really makes those worlds feel alive is like when you're starting off on that mission, and then you see like, wait, what the heck? There's these goblins over here, and they're like fighting these centaurs. What? Or look at this. There's a half giant over there crying out in pain. Now none of this is like any of the information I've seen. I'm just like spitballing with you guys here. And then you feel compelled to like branch off your path and go investigate. And that's what I'm hoping these camps are. Like if you think about Breath of the Wild, if you played Breath of the Wild, man, it's such a good game for so many reasons. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but the vast majority of people love that game. But when you're playing that game, you're just like, all of a sudden you like notice something going on over here. It's like, wait, what are these enemies doing? What's going on? These guys are like patrolling around this, what? And then you like go and you complete that little area, and then you find there was actually like some items there that you're able to collect and use. So things like that, I think that's really what the enemy camps are going to be used for. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.